As Aussies, we love the great outdoors, and it's no wonder we're blessed with perfect weather and we've all got beautiful gardens. I know that in most gardens, the space that gets used the most is the patio area. It's hard wearing and it's easy to relax in. But what I see is people clutter it up with too big a furniture for the space. I'm talking about the great big table and all the chairs around it. Think about how often you really use it and how much space it takes up. I'd delete it and work with some benching. Now, I'm not talking about store-bought. I can do better than that, and so can you. I'm talking DIY. Adbri Masonry got a fantastic product called AB Courtyard. The good thing about it, and what I'm going to show you, is you only need to buy one component that can do all the tricks to make a beautiful built-in bench. So that's the block I'm going to use, and I'm only going to use the one style. It can make lots of piers and squares for you. What I'm going to do is come in roughly 200 mil from the end. I reckon it looks kind of funny if my bench started right on the end. A little bit of a design tip. I'm going to come in, but come in a decent amount. And 200 is perfect. Now, don't be scared about marking the pavers, because this is where the blocks are going to go and you'll never see it again. And then I'm going to make the whole thing 2.4 metres long. Now, to make the bench seat I'm talking about, you only need to use one type of the AB Courtyard, and that's the corner block. The difference between the corner block and the blocks that go into the wall is the blocks in the wall don't have an end on it. You've got two faces and an end with this one, so what you can do with it is every corner of a pier. Now, one of the reasons why I like working with these is it's got two faces. So they work really well as a retaining wall, but also as a freestanding wall, because you can see a good looking wall on both sides. Lots of products only have the one face. Well, let's get started. First thing I need to do is lay a block on those lines that I put in. And it's as hard as that. Well, as easy as that, actually. Now, with the blocks, there is one thing to know. If you look down on that, you can see that this side is longer than this side. If you want to build a pier, all you need to remember is the longer side is facing out. Now, as you build your pier up, you reverse your stack, so you create that stretcher bond pattern. You never want to see two joints directly above each other. I see lots of people glue these down with liquid nails. If you're that fastidious about it, you can do it, but I don't recommend it. And the reason why is these guys are so heavy, they're not going to move on you. But in 6 months' time, you can move them. So it might work over here well in winter and you want the sun, but it might work well over there in summer when you want the shade. So I've gone up 3 courses. You can see the stretcher bond pattern appearing, but I'm going to change a little bit now. I'm going to do 2 more courses that only go to here, which will give me the pier. And this ledge that's left, well, it's perfect for my timber to sit on that can span across to my other pier. For the first 3 courses where it was a rectangle, I had to fill in the center, because if I didn't, I'd have too much of a void and this square would be undermined here. But for the top 2 courses, I can leave that empty if I like. You could fill it with offcuts or rubble if you want to, but the capping stone will hide all of that and sit over it easily. Remember how I said that they're nice and heavy and you don't need to glue them together? Well, the capping stones are a perfect, nice and heavy way to finish them off. I wouldn't try and carry them on your own. Grab a mate. In my case, I grabbed my great-grandfather, Kenneth. Say hello, Kenneth.
Hello.
All right, that'll do. If you want to glue down the capping block, put the blobs of glue on the pier, not on the caps, because they are wider than your pier. Well, that took all of about 5 minutes, but I wasn't talking about building a bench like this, even though it's quite comfortable. All you need to do is repeat the whole thing in a mirror image, and we're done. Cut your timber to fit. Make sure you leave a gap between it for the water to get away. If they're butt up, they'll start to rot, but you won't have that problem with masonry. Now, to attach it, you can use liquid nails, a big blob of that underneath each of these slabs of timber, and it'll stick to your block. But that ties you in to it being a permanent structure. What I want to do is keep this temporary. So if I have a cleat, I can go underneath, screw from the bottom so you won't see any of the screws, and tie all 4 of these together. That'll be enough to stop it from moving and bowing, and it means when you go to move the whole job, you can just lift the seat up as one and put it back in position. Dan, come and say g'day. How good's this? You can knock one up in no time at all, sit back and relax on your patio within a matter of hours. For more information on all my DIY projects, simply go to adbrymasonry.com.au. Good luck!